Hi, Joy. This is Sarah with the Joyful Entrepreneur and Flourish, the online community for handmade sellers. And I am here to critique your shop. I am so looking forward to going through your shop and seeing what it is that you make. Basically, how this screencast works is you hear my voice talking through a microphone. My computer screen is being recorded, so you should be able to see what I see. And together we can kind of go through the Etsy shop, and I can let you know, hey, these are areas that you have that if you tweak a little bit, may bring you in some more business. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get started. We're going to talk a little bit about, let me turn my phone off so it doesn't beep. We're going to talk a little bit about feelings right now. Okay? I want you to think of your Etsy shop as your own physical shop. Okay? Like if you had your own store somewhere. I want you to think of your internet storefront exactly the same. If you were going to go open a business somewhere, like a physical big box store, right? Or not even big box, like a physical store. What would you do? You'd have to kind of look around, right? You might get a realtor. They'd say, well, where are you looking to sell? Like, where do you want your business to open? And you'd have to make a decision of where you want your business, right? And that decision should be based on what type of neighborhood it's in, what type of customer base you would have, right? So in order to think about that, then you would need to think about who would buy my products. So looking at your shop here, you have natural deodorant, essential oils, lip balms, basically natural bath and body, I'm assuming, right? So think about who buys that kind of thing. And where are they, right? Where are they located? Where do they hang out? Where do they shop from? So you would determine that in order to determine where you're going to put your physical store. Well, then once you have a building, a storefront, what would you need to do? Well, you would need to get a sign, right, to hang above the door. That would need to tell people, who you are and what they can expect to find there. And you'd want that sign to be attractive, to bring them in, right? You'd want it to look nice from the front so that people come into your shop. So you would have a sign made. You may have some window stickers and decals made up. You might even have some mannequins or some kind of displays of some sort to put in the window so people walking by can see and get an idea about what they can find. But what happens when someone then walks into your store? You would want to paint your store, right? The same colors that would be attractive to your customers, colors that maybe you have in the sign above your store or maybe in the window display graphics. You would have, tables set out with your products on. What kind of tables? Would they just be, plastic tables? Would they be maybe something a little bit more rustic, like more natural feeling? Would they be like shiny chrome tables? All of those things you have to think about. You have to think about, no, my shop is a natural bath and body shop, essential oils. It should have a more natural feel to it, maybe some distressed wood, maybe some lace, maybe some lavender, things like that. I might have some incense or, that's how you would set up your shop. Well, what about the customer service? What about like the clerk? What would they be wearing? Would they have a uniform? Would they smile and greet people as they're coming in? Or would it be more of a self-serve type store? So, and you may say, okay, we've already been talking now for almost 5 minutes and you still haven't really said anything about my Etsy shop. And the reason why is because this part is so important. The biggest mistake that Etsy sellers or really any e-commerce businesses make is they don't think of their website or their online marketplace as if it's a real business or as if it is like a retail store. They think of it more in a 2-dimensional capacity instead of a 3-dimensional. So, but your buyer wants the same experience shopping online that they expect to have in a physical store. They still want to be wooed. They still want to be wowed. They still want to be attracted to your stuff. They want that feel-good feeling. So Etsy sellers and I have a whole group full of six-figure sellers, okay? I have a Flourish 100K group with 100 and some members that all make over $100,000 a year. I also have a mids group, which is Etsy sellers that make between $35,000 and $75,000 a year. It's when I look in their shops compared to every other Etsy seller shop that I go into, there's a huge difference. I mean, vast. So this is the key. I want you to create your store as if it were a physical shop. So tell me then, if you look at this banner, this should have your branding. All right, you should have a logo, you should have your name, you should have your tagline. It looks to me like this is your logo here, which is super cute, by the way. I love it. Joyful Sounds Farm Store. I mean, just the name, Joyful Sounds Farm Store. You know, I could see you in this little like barn kind of storefront with maybe wood floors and maybe even some burlap decor, right? More of a natural feel, creams and browns and oranges and greens. It's totally just the name. It's a wonderful, wonderful name for a business, especially for a natural business. So Joyful Sounds Farm Store. Then you have Handcrafted in Duncan, South Carolina. All natural deodorant, essential oil soap, essential oil lip balms, natural home keeping supplies, and hand crocheted items. This is a lot to put in the banner. And I want you to think about some of your favorite stores that you go into. When you go into the store and you look above their door and you see their sign, does it have all this information on it? No, right? It's just the store's name. Sometimes the store's name and a slogan or a tagline. So I think you need to take this out, this big two lined text here. Center the Joyful Sounds Farm Store. I don't know if this is the font that you use or if this is the font you will use. These are obviously two different fonts. You want brand consistency. So whatever font you're using for your graphics or your logo, you want to keep that consistent across all mediums. So that means this font needs to be the same. The font on your social media banners need to be the same. The font on your business cards, on your marketing materials, if you do craft fairs, the signage, it all needs to be consistent, okay? Because that's how you're going to build your brand. You want people to not only remember your name, but you want them to remember your logo. You want them to remember your font. If I wrote the word bunny or jelly and I did it in the Disney font, you would still think of Disney when you see that font, right? So it's the same kind of thing. If you see the Nike swoosh, you know it's Nike, even if it doesn't say Nike. And you may say, well, Sarah, those are really big companies. I'm not anything like that. But it doesn't matter. It's for any business. These are essential things that you need to do to build your business. You want people to say, oh, I know where I am. I'm at Joyful Sounds Farm Store. You know, come up with a better tagline. I would take away Handcrafted in Duncan, South Carolina. You're on Etsy, so hopefully it's handcrafted. Your city and state is here. So again, you want to utilize this space properly. Joyful Sounds Farm Store, all natural bath and body products or something like that, okay, as a tagline. This is absolutely, like I said, beautiful. I think if it were me, I would have this over here. Although you kind of already have it in the icon, so maybe it is better there. All right, right here, shop owner, Joy Donahue. I mean, I'm 40. I don't wear glasses, but I know that I'm getting up there a little bit. I can't see you here. All I see, I'm assuming this is you with what looks like chickens, I guess. What I want to see here is a close-up of your face. I want to see a smiling face right here. This is where you are being represented. Joy. Who is Joy? She is the one who, she's not just a business owner. She's the maker. She's the creator. She's the designer. You are part of your brand because you have a handmade, handcrafted brand. If you didn't, then it wouldn't matter. But you do, so you very much are part of your brand. So I would look through your photos or perhaps take a new one, have a nice close-up picture of you and hopefully smiling where you're, this is basically your way to welcome people in your store. They walk in, you look at them, you give them eye contact and you say, hi, welcome to Joyful Sounds, okay? This shop icon, you can take out the text that says Joyful Sounds Farm. You don't need it. You're going to have it here in your banner. You have it here. You don't need it here as well. I would just use this alone, just your logo here as your shop icon, which is nice because you can make that a little bit bigger. Right here, all natural deodorants, essential oil, soaps, and lip balms. This is great. In that line, and that would be a great tagline too if you wanted to use it up in your banner. But this line is important for Google SEO. You want to make sure that you're putting strong keywords into this section, okay? And that will help boost your ranking on Google. Not necessarily Etsy, but Google ranks Etsy stores based on certain areas of their shop that are optimized. This line lets them know what kind of shop you have. Okay. All right, let's go down here. These pictures should be your featured photos or your featured items. What you want to put here is anything seasonal. So whatever's coming up in the next 1 to 2 months is what you want to sell here. So anything right now, it's September 22nd, 2017. So you want anything that's like fall. Anything that has to do with fall or autumn, maybe autumn scents or fall scents. I don't know if you do candles, but that would be good. Or anything Halloween, if you do things specific to holidays, anything Halloween related, or Thanksgiving or Christmas, all that's coming up. If you have stocking stuffers, or if you have a gift set or a gift bundle or a kit that can be that you sell as a gift, that would all be good to put up here too. That's what you want to showcase in this section. This section should change every 2 to 3 months-ish, okay? Depending on the holiday and the season that's coming up. All right. So this announcement here, this is good. This is what I think is a great space to use for a coupon code. So that's nice. If you have your own website or you want to try to get people to sign up for your email list, this is another good place. You can say, hey, join our VIP list, receive 10% coupon off your first purchase at www, whatever it is. Okay, now you have to be careful with that because there is fee avoidance and all that kind of stuff. You don't want to take business from Etsy to your own site, although that is the goal. But you don't want to do that. If they're an Etsy customer, you want to sell them on Etsy first, and then if they find, if you list your website and you give them a coupon code and they come back later, then that's fine. It's totally okay. You just don't want to have them go to your website first. So I would maybe say a coupon code, 10% off your first purchase on Etsy or something like that. But at least it gets them to your website, gets them to sign up for your email list so you can now market to them and you don't have to always depend on algorithms to bring you traffic. Okay, you have 18 items, which is a little low. So this is the thing with e-commerce business. There's always a big issue with trust, right? There's trust between the buyer and the seller. They need to know that you're a bona fide business, that you're legitimate, that they're not going to get screwed over, that when they pay you, they're not going to just never see their money again because they don't know who you are or really where you are. They don't know if what they see on the site is true or not true. So there are a few little things that you can do to build trust between you and the buyer. And these are things that happen with the things I'm telling you, like getting a cohesive brand, looking polished and professional, again, showcasing your face and smiling so they can put a face with the name. Another thing is having a decent size inventory or a decent size offering. They're going to take you more serious when they see you have 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 products than someone that has just a few, right? So I would try to get this up as close to 50 as you can. And then I recommend in Flourish, most of my members to stay in the 80 to 100 range. Of course, if you can, get over that, that's great. But you don't want to fill it with fluff. You just don't want to fill it with stuff just to fill it with stuff. You want it to be stuff you enjoy making and stuff that will sell, or at least you think will sell. But try to at least push to get that up closer to 50, because that's really the number where, the buyer just psychologically wise feels a bit more comfortable. It's like if you walked into a store and there was this big store and you walk in and there's, one shelf that has a few things on it. How would you feel? You'd be like, what's going on, right? And you'd be confused. You might be a little, distracted. And that is what you don't want to create in your shop. All right, do you see these? I'm kind of going fast because we're already at 15 minutes. But I'm going to guess that you're not a Flourish member because I don't think that you have things set up the way that we teach in Flourish. So this may go a little longer than normal. Normally my critiques are around 20 minutes, but this might go a little bit longer. So this right here, do you see how you have these kind of all over the place? You kind of did good here. This is what you want to see your stuff look like. You want it to be your categories from the smallest word to the longest word. So you just need to put gift sets up there and seasonal up there. And that way it'll be from the smallest to the longest. Again, this is just for page flow reasons, how easy it is on the eyes for your buyers. You want to create a very comfortable, enjoyable experience in your store. So you want your pictures to be beautiful. You want your text to flow well, your pricing to make sense. You don't want any distractions or any hesitation. We're going to skip over the main part of your shop for a second, go down to your About page. Okay, this is a product picture. Product picture. This might be you with your chickens. Look at that's awesome. Look at that peacock. Wow. Beautiful. Pumpkins. All right. So what you want here in this space, it's uber important. This needs to be about you and about your business. What are you passionate about? What inspires you? If it's chickens, it's great to share that shot of chickens in there. The peacock seems a little random, but hey, you might be, you might love peacocks as well. You might just love birds in general. So, having those aren't so bad. You don't want product pics because there's plenty of space up here for your product pictures. What you want is, maybe a picture of you and your family, or you with the animals like you had with the chickens. You also want maybe a picture of the materials that you use, or the tools that you use, or the machines that you use. Maybe a picture of you working in your workspace. Even if that's your dining room table, it doesn't matter. You still want to show that these things are handmade. Shots that are very, very good are usually when a shot of your actually hand creating the product or stirring something. Again, anytime that you can show in a photo that what you're doing is handmade, it automatically creates value for the customer. So now, I can get deodorant and soap anywhere. I can even get natural deodorant and soap at most gift shops and other places. Why am I buying it from you? Why am I on Etsy? Why am I in your shop? Because I want to support small business, or I want to support handmade, or I want something different that I won't find in all the stores. I want something unique. And I'm going to probably treasure it more as well. So it's important for you to add in those things, and that's going to help you kind of develop some loyal customers. So good, you have website here, Facebook here. If you have Instagram, put it here. If you have Pinterest, put it here. If not, this is a good. I'm really glad you have your website there. I would suggest that you start getting email lists built up. Uber important for your future marketing efforts. All right, pricing. Your prices are all over the place, okay? You're using the 99-cent price point here, whole pricing here. This is whole, this is 99, whole. The increments are kind of wonky. So in Flourish, we teach psychology pricing, and this is a term that was coined in the retail world because there's been thousands of studies on the e-commerce buyer and buyers in general, really. And they look at what listings are clicked on more, or what products are purchased more often, at what price points they're purchased more often, at what price points do people put stuff into their shopping cart or into their wish list versus the ones that actually put it in there and buy. So they came up with this psychology pricing, which is the 99-cent price point. Now you can use 9 or 5. They both had similar results. 7 and 8 was people that felt like they were getting more of a clearance deal or a like a bargain type thing. You know, and it kind of has some negative connotations to it because people think of 97 and 98 as expired or written off or discontinued. You want to do 99 or 95. Now, if you can get your pictures, if you can improve your pictures and make them like amazing, I would use the 95-cent point because it's more of a boutique type pricing. But if you can't, or if it's going to take you a while, I would continue with the 99-cent price point. And basically there's certain price increments that buyers will click on more often than others. $9.99 goes all the way down in dollar increments, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, all the way down to $1.99. Anything over $9.99, the next price point would be $12.99. After $12.99, it goes to $14.99. After $14, it goes to $16.99, and then it jumps to $19.99. So this would be $12.99. You would need to mark this up. This $5.99, $6.99, $5.99. Okay, and let's talk about that for a minute. So here you have $5. This is $5. This is $6. To the customer, they look the same, other than they're different colors. It looks like the same size, roughly. It looks like, you know, the same. They're both bar soap. You may know that materials or supplies that you use to make one cost a little bit more than the other, but the customer doesn't know. So I would just mark all of these up to the $6 or $6.99 or $5.99. Mark them all up. You want to have like 3 price points in your shop. Now, of course, if you have a lot of different products, you're not going to be able to do that. But within the same product line, you want to try to keep pricing as consistent as possible. All right, $8.99. So this is all fine. $3.99. This should be $3.99. This should be $19.99 or $24.99. After $19.99, the next price increment that is the most popular is $24.99. Then it jumps to $29.99, then $34.99, then $30, basically $5 increments. Now, once you get over 50, you can go in $10 increments. Okay, now that might sound funny to you, but think about it. If somebody is going to spend $22.49 for something, they're going to spend $24.99. Either way, to them, it's under 25 bucks. If they're not going to spend over 20, they're not going to buy it for 22 or 24. So you're leaving money on the table there. You want to make sure that you bump this up to $24.99, or if you drop it down to $19.99, that's fine too. Because again, people, they'll think of it as it's under 20 bucks. Okay. Your pictures are awful. And I mean that with love. I really do. Please don't feel like I'm being mean at all. But I only have so much time and I have to get to the point. They're not good. Now, what this looks like, it looks like, you know, this is a maker who knows how to make soap and deodorant and cool stuff like that. But, you know, it looks like you're going and you're taking your stuff to a flea market and you're just putting it all out on a table and you're waiting for people to walk by and buy. That is not what you want to do. You want to sell your stuff. A lot of people think sell just means a transaction. It means somebody buying something and you getting money. It's so much more than that. You need to sell your products. Well, how can you do that if you're not in person, or if they can't pick them up, or they can't ask questions right away? Well, you do that with your photos, and you do it with your words. Your words become, and this is what we call copy or copywriting, that they become your digital salesperson. And your photos need to be so amazing that your customers don't even want to read your copy. They just want to buy it. So you might say, well, I'm not a photographer. I am not a photographer. I don't know how to do that. Well, if you're in Flourish, we have photography experts that can help you, or you can send your product to them and hire them to do product photography, which is a lot cheaper than you think. A lot of people think it's crazy expensive, and it's really affordable, especially if you just do, you know, a couple products at a time. Let me show you some examples though, okay? Because it's fine and dandy for me to say these things, but without showing you examples. So tell me, looking at, you know, at your picture that we had there before, compared to like this picture, who would you buy from? And this is $6.95. You could be selling your soap right next door to this person for $5.95, and they're still going to buy this at $6.95. They're going to pay $1 more. It could be the exact same soap, but they're going to buy it because of this picture. And this picture isn't even a great picture, but it's showing that it looks professionally done. It still has the handmade artisan feel, but it doesn't look like it's being sold, you know, in a dollar store or flea market. Again, look at this photo here. It's properly staged. There's some lighting in. And again, this is not a professional photo. It's not the best photo in the world, but it's good. It doesn't look like it was just, you know, it's sitting at a garage sale or a flea market. The same with this. They got some stacked up. They got some nice lighting in here. This is not a good photo. This is not a good photo. This is not a good photo. Okay, let's find you some that are good, that are, you know, really well. This is not bad, but it's really a weird angle. And this is the thing. And a lot of people say, well, you know, why do people in Flourish sell so much more than everyone else? It's because we teach these things. 80%, 90% of sellers on Etsy, they don't do these things. And that is the difference. None of these pictures are really impressive. This isn't bad. Again, it's just not very good lighting. This is awful with the shadow here. This is a good photo. Again, a weird angle. This is an excellent photo. Okay, so let's look at this photo and see what's so great about it, other than it looks like delicious cinnamon buns. Automatically looking at this photo, what does it make you feel like? Hungry, maybe? That's probably what she wants to do. This person probably makes food-related soaps and things. So, but look at what she did here, because this could very well be your soap on here. She has it on a light background. Looks like either a white plate or a clear plate. She has it on a white background underneath the plate. She has a focus on this good natural lighting in here, which is a soft white light. She has a good focus on here, and then it kind of blurs out the back. It looks like something you'd see in a magazine. This is not a professional photo. You can do this at home. I don't know what kind of phone you have. I could do this with my phone. I have an iPhone 7 Plus. You could do it with that. You can also do it with any DSLR. Or is it DLSR? I always get those mixed up. Just by simply having a nice, decent setup. Now, when I say that, I mean, find a window inside your house that gets good natural light coming through it. Not direct sunlight, just good natural light. Set up a table, put up a white poster board, put down your background, whether it's white or it's cream or whatever you want, a plate, get your soaps on there, and then get down kind of eye level and take a photo. That is what you need to do. I bet this person, I mean, look at this. 13,000 sales. I mean, look, it's a fantastic photo. Not so much on this one. So it looks like she's working on her photos. This is good. This is good. This is good. This is good. Okay? So that's what I want you to do. I really want you to focus on your photography. Just improving your photography alone will increase your sales, I'm sure, at least double. All right, so play around with it. And again, if you're in Flourish, reach out to the product photographers. If you're not in Flourish, I would join. It's $14.99 a month. It's a write-off. You'll probably sell that much, at least in product or more, in the Flourish market to each other because we support each other. It's really a win-win. And we can help you. I would invest in some good labels, not something kind of just printed out on your printer. And it doesn't mean that you can't still print your labels, because you absolutely can, but you want to have more of a clean, nice label on your bottles. So let me see. We're doing natural deodorant. Let me see if I can find one. Even something like this is nice. It looks like more of a kind of a craft paper, which would go with your branding as well. This would be a great photo if it had a little bit more light in it. This is a good label. So investing in labels aren't expensive. They really aren't. And you can even probably outsource that. This isn't bad here. I don't like the watermark. It looks a little too, I don't know, kind of, it looks a little cheap. I think when it's bright white like that, I think it tends to look a little cheaper. You don't get the handmade goodness feel from it. This is a great shot here. This is actually a Flourish member. Okay, so this is a Flourisher, Jillian's Apothecary. She has the bee here. Super cute brand and logo. Good label here. And then she has, you know, this wood background with some lavender. Now this may even be a bit of a mock-up, but it's beautiful. It looks really, really good. So you want to find a shop that, you know, kind of feels good to you, that is similar to your, let's say, brand, and that you don't copy that shop, but you can look at it and kind of get a feel and see how that might work for you. They're, you know, incorporating some of that style, whether it's natural wood or putting some spices down by where your essential oil products are. Things like that. So try it out until you find something that really looks and works for your items. Let's do lip balm. Great picture. So this doesn't even show you the label, but what does it do? It creates that feeling, right? That like, oh, that's so pretty. And you know how pretty lip balm and chapstick can be, you know, just as itself. So that, you know, that would attract in buyers. You want that light and bright feeling that, oh my gosh, that looks so awesome. I want to see what that is. Like these lined up. That's a good one. This is good for natural lip balm. It's a good look for a natural lip balm. Excellent picture here. Again, it has a very natural feel to it. It's blurred out the product in the back. Focus on the product in the front. A nice label. I mean, if you see this, okay, and then you see this, which one are you going to buy? You know what I mean? That's the difference of what a good photo will do versus a not so good photo. Okay. So let's go back to your shop. Let's look at your SEO real quick. All right. When we talk about optimizing an Etsy shop, okay, that's SEO, right? Search engine optimization. In your Etsy shop, you want to use all the characters in your title. That's what Etsy says in the seller handbook. It is, it's what they use to determine where they're going to show your products when people search search for specific keywords. So you want to fill this title up with keywords. Now, I suggest using space dash space between the keywords. It looks the best in my opinion, but you do lose a few characters. So you can continue with the commas if you like. I don't particularly like the commas because they kind of look like a run-on sentence to me. But it doesn't really matter what punctuation you use, but just make sure that they're separated. Now you have all natural deodorant. That's a great keyword. That's a long tail keyword. It's great. It's to the point. It's very relevant to what you do. I think that's great. I think that's great to even have in the front. Remember, you have 144 characters in your title space. Well, the first 60 or so is the most important. So they need to be the most relevant. So you have all natural deodorant, aluminum free what? Deodorant? Solid deodorant in dial-up tube, organic. These are not so great. So now I'm going to go up here and click the Etsy search bar. When I click it, do you see what comes down? This is showing you what the most popular searches are right now on Etsy. So it's always good to just kind of keep an eye on that to know what's trending, what people are looking for, things like that. Now we're going to do start typing in. Now you see as I type in, the words change in that drop down, don't they? That's telling you that as people type this in, this is the most popular search term for all natural soap, all natural incense. There it is, all natural deodorant. Okay? So we know that's a good keyword phrase. People are using it. They wouldn't show it to you here if it wasn't getting a lot of searches. Now let's try aluminum free. See what I said about not having deodorant there? I would have aluminum free deodorant. Now, there's a lot of SEO experts out there, and there's a lot of SEO people that say they're experts that aren't. I'm not an SEO expert, but I've learned and researched enough about SEO that I can say I'm probably the closest to it without having a degree in marketing and optimization. Etsy SEO is very different than Google SEO. And, you know, the thing with the algorithm is they only tell you enough. They don't tell you everything. They just tell you enough for you to kind of tweak your listings to be found. They don't tell you everything that they look for. So there's some people out there that think that you don't have to use the same keyword repeatedly in the title. And there's some that say you do. It doesn't really matter to me, but I think that if you use natural language, how would someone type? Would someone type aluminum free in the search bar? Probably not. They would type aluminum free deodorant. As you can see, that's here. So I would have this in your title. And since you're not using all your title space, you have room. So all natural deodorant, aluminum free deodorant. Now you have solid deodorant in a dial-up tube. I think that is kind of silly. I can't imagine anyone typing that in. No, they're not. So that's a huge waste of space. Instead, just solid deodorant. Okay? Organic deodorant, if that's what it is. And look, this is telling you, hey, people are searching organic deodorant. They're also searching for organic deodorant spray, organic deodorant women and men. So you can put that in there. What else could this be used for? Okay, what about stocking stuffer? And you might think, well, who's going to put that in there? But those are perfect for stocking stuffers. Me as a mom of 3 and a family of 6, I look for unique things to put in stocking stuffers. And usually people that are on Etsy are looking for unique things. So these would be great stocking stuffers. And now that's not a keyword you're going to use year round, but it definitely is something you should use leading up into the holidays. All right, what about graduation time? Dorm room, I wouldn't say it's an accessory. What do you call those? Toiletries? Let's try toiletries. Toiletries. Toiletries is another one. Natural skincare, maybe, but maybe not, because I don't know if they would consider deodorant skincare. Natural body products. So you could put that as well. Okay. Now, who could you gift it for? Well, right now, you could gift for Christmas. But let's say that, again, you had people going off to college. You could gift for grads, graduate, going away gift. You know, you want to think, and when I'm coming up with these terms, the reason why I'm kind of thinking of them this way is because you want to, of course, describe the product, which you're doing well. All natural deodorant, aluminum-free deodorant, solid deodorant, stick, or whatever. Then you want to say what it could be used for. Well, it's for natural body care. Then what it could be gifted for. Well, gifts for grads or a stocking stuffer. So if you use those, then you're getting those 3 avenues of traffic into your shop. When you're done forming your title, you want to copy those same keywords and you want to paste them down here into your tags. Okay? That's going to help solidify your SEO, make it a little bit stronger. As far as your copy goes, your copy's a little long. What I would do is, have a top paragraph that is your digital salesperson. Remember those yummy words that really help sell the product. Then your next could be the specs. You have ingredients. It's totally cool. Essential oil choices, you should be using maybe a variation for that, which it looks like you are. You don't really need to re-put them in here. And then do some interlinking, which you are doing here, which is good. But this definitely could be a little bit shortened, so it's not so much text. Because when customers see all of this text, they won't read any of it. Whereas if it's just like 3 nice little paragraphs, they'll take the time to read it. Okay, so it looks to me, honestly, you need really just a whole shop facelift. You need your better, consistent branding. You definitely need to work on your photos. Your pricing needs to be tweaked. And, your SEO isn't terrible, but it could be a lot better. So you want to make sure that you're tweaking them. Now, it seems like a lot. Just work on one at a time. I would start with your branding first, get that knocked out. Then if you want to tweak your SEO a little bit, your photos, I think, are definitely the biggest thing that will help you, but it's time consuming. So it's something you're going to have to kind of put a plan in, either go get a nice camera, set up a space in front of your window, reach out to some product photographers, join Flourish. We have a lot of presentations on our new Artisan Indie site, which we haven't launched yet to the public. We're launching it January 1. But there's some amazing resources that can really help you. And there's no reason why you can't be, making between 30 and 70 grand in the next year. You just have to sell your stuff. You have to, showcase it in a much better way. So I hope this helped. Please let me know if you have any questions. You can respond to this message. I'm going to send it in a convo. If you're interested in Flourish, visit my website, my current website. It'll be changing soon to Artisan Indie, but right now it's thejoyfulentrepreneur.co, not .com, .co. And you can click on the Flourish tab and learn all about Flourish and sign up. And get some help. There's no contract, no commitment, anything like that. You do have to work, but it's worth it in the end. You have a really cool product, and there's no reason why you can't be, at the front of the line and dominating in your industry. Okay, so thanks so much. I'm sorry this critique was so long, but I hope you got some good information from it. And I hope you have an amazing holiday season. I definitely would add in some Christmas stuff, have a Christmas line, build up your gift sets here, because this is a real popular product during the holidays. All right, thanks so much, and I'll hopefully talk to you later. Bye.